Hey Pisces, welcome to your October 2019 reading from our Cosmic Heart to yours.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. It's our channel. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back.
We appreciate you joining us.
We appreciate all the views and all the likes and all the subscriptions. So thanks so much for being a part of our journey and coming to us for our bit of intuition. Speaking of intuition, October is going to be is obviously a huge month when it comes to intuition because of the veil thinning, depending on what your beliefs are. But with that veil thinning, there is heightened spirit communication and intuition and sacred knowledge coming in. So there's a lot that's happening in October, and we want to help you navigate it all. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the feminine and masculine energy. Everyone has both energies in their experience. The feminine energy is that divine sacred knowledge. The masculine energy is the action, and both of them unified is glorious. But that's not usually how humans work. So we are going to look at the feminine energy on this side, the masculine energy on this side. We're going to talk about the awareness that the masculine and feminine bring in October, and then like what to do with that awareness here and how to heal from it. So with the feminine energy, we have that it's letting you know, or it's nudging you that you have some decisions to make. You're at this fork in a road, and your higher self, your divine knowledge, your sacred wisdom is trying to nudge you to make a decision. And sometimes, like, why is it trying to nudge me to make a decision? Aren't I already making a decision? I'm taking care of the day. I'm taking care of business. Like, what else do I need to do? Sometimes we might find ourselves so busy that we can't concentrate, or we can't hear our divine messages anymore because we're constantly distracting ourselves with other things. And so when you have fork in the road, I noticed the monkey first, quit monkeying around, quit monkeying around, like quit distracting yourself from things.
Decide what direction you want to go
in. Well, you can't decide until you come to an awareness that a decision needs to be made. And I feel like that's the sacred knowledge. That's the divine wisdom coming in, is that like you actually need to make a decision. You can't sit here anymore on the in-between, and you can't keep distracting yourself from making a decision. So
yeah, I agree. Is that a llama on there?
Llama with a
you're gonna be like, a llama make a decision.
A llama make a decision with the owl on top.
With the owl on
all about that intuitive
messages.
Mm-hmm.
And the masculine. Oh, no owl.
Oh yeah.
Truth be told.
Look at that.
So I feel like the decision that you need to make, you already ultimately know what it is. You have that inner wisdom, that inner spirit guide that ultimately will guide you in the right direction. So don't turn a blind eye to any signs or synchronicities that may be popping up here and there. Just be strong in your faith, God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, and just stay strong in the tools that you've been given to know that you're making a good decision out of your intuition.
Yeah, so it's definitely wanting you to like hear that, hey, you need to make a decision, and then be honest about that decision and take off the masks that are holding you back from actually making the decision that you need to make.
Yeah.
All right, so this is another decision-making type of card. Like, okay, now what? Now what do we do? How do we move forward in this new energy or old energy or whatever it is? How do we move forward? And how do we move forward is like really creating some new thought process and new thought beliefs so that it can assist us in these new emotional processes. But our emotions come from our thoughts. And so we have to create some new thoughts about it. We have to create some new agreements. We have to create some new thoughts, and we need to then create a new relationship and a new emotions and new process. So we can't have that happen if we don't decide to speak our truth. If we decide to speak the spiritual mumbo jumbo, or, you know, we're kind of playing it small and safe, and or we're crazy. And on the other side of things, like, you cannot have it both ways. You have to make a decision, and it has to be a balance of the two. There's power in silence, and then there's truth and bluntness. And I don't think either way is more spiritual or not. And so don't get caught up in a spiritual ego where you got to be one way or the other. Really come up with some new agreements with yourself, with others, and then really work on shifting those thought processes. And that's when you'll start to see a shift in the emotions.
Yeah, I think, like you said, that card is about making a decision. I feel like that perhaps making the harder decision is the best decision for you. Because the easy decision for these two would be to let the dragon be chained up and to keep it that way. But the harder decision would be to free the dragon, and in hopes that it doesn't retaliate for whatever it is that they've done, and just be strong in their faith, knowing that whatever the outcome is, they're going to be safe and protected. And then be confident in the choice that you do make. And then once you do that, you can just revel in the outcome of it. The newness of it all.
Whew.
That's what came to me.
So make the harder decision, because that's easy.
Well, no, making the easy decision is easy. But I feel like with the dragon, I essentially don't want to see the dragon be tied up. So that's just my perspective. I feel like perhaps the harder decision is the better decision.
Right, for all.
Yeah, just like having hard conversations. Sometimes they just need to happen.
Right. Truth be told.
Truth be told.
And so what does that do? How does that shift things? And so interesting that this is like the feminine side of things. How does it shift things by the book? And I think that what makes it interesting is that your divine knowledge is not by the book. However, that being said, you do have to follow it. So I feel like that's the message with it being by the book, is like my mister said, the easy decision is the easy decision. The harder decision is hard for a reason. And so once you do decide what truths need to be told, or conversations or actions need to happen, you then need to follow through. Your divine knowledge is saying, okay, now that you've made this decision, walk in alignment with what you decided, and then we're going to meet you and direct you further. But if you make a decision and then go back on it, you're just stuck in the same place that you have been stuck in. So you need to make the decision, and then you need to walk in alignment with it every single step of the way. And you need to keep walking until you get the shift. You get, you feel it. You feel it. You'll know it.
Sorry. And I feel like we're back with taking off the masks. Because, the Truth Be Told card, there's a mask on the elephant.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
So I feel like they say elephants never forget. So I feel like you already know what happens when you wear these masks. You know how you feel about yourself. You know how others view you. So I feel like take off the mask. Don't keep doing the same thing that you've been doing. Maybe it's making the hard choice, having the hard conversation. And let's see what the masculine has to say.
Let's do it.
Orphaned.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't change whatever it is that you've normally done, then you're just going to end up isolated, whether you're pushing people away or they're distancing themselves from you because of the way that you're acting or responding from situations.
Yeah. Gotta act from a place of truth.
Yeah.
Not from a place of fear or abandonment. Yeah. And if you don't sit with your shadow long enough, you won't even know you're doing it. So there's Ace of Crystals. This is now what do I do? There's Three of Feathers. And then there's Page of Feathers. So still a lot with your thoughts, about like kind of recovering your thoughts and sitting with them and deciding. There's a mask there too. So like taking that mask off. And also with the Ace of
Even
Crystals.
the panda kind of looks like it's going to mask.
Yeah, like I know that this is like prosperity with the panda, but I don't feel that. What I feel more is the energy of the panda, which is like very coy and very skittish. And the reason why there's this skittish and afraid type of energy is because you're wearing a mask. You're afraid to take the mask off. You're afraid to speak it. But when you do, you'll be free and you'll be able to
Right, which it also is a card about manifestation. So your thoughts manifest. So if you're not...
So if
you're not coming from a place of integrity
you're gonna
and
give
honesty, right, then the prosperity you get is going to be an abundance of the same negative energy that you've already been in. Right. So there needs to be some sort of regrowth, rejuvenation, rebirth for this new exploration.
All right. And then the healing we have is that you're learning this. You're learning that your energy manifests, and when you hold energy in a place that is scared or, skittish, it's going to manifest, and you get to choose.
And unexpected. So again, I feel like the healing is going to have to do with perhaps not taking the easy road or the easy way out,
not what's
like you normally do, right?
And go with the unexpected.
Go with the unexpected.
And just push yourself to push through that uncomfortable comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It's like you've made the comfort zone of being uncomfortable, but the truth is you actually need to be uncomfortable. Right. That the zone that you're in is not uncomfortable. It's comfort. This is where you've been in for how long now? Yeah. So in order to shift it, you got to get uncomfortable with it.
Agreed.
So, all right. We hope that you have a great October, Pisces. We wish you all the very best. Take care.
Bless.